What's up, family? Investor TY. Today we are going to, episode 2 of our Sit and Gist series, and we are going to be sitting with a game developer. He's going to be telling us about his journey, really, and we are going to be having conversations with him. Before we dive into the video, I want you guys to make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you share it to your family and friends who are interested in learning about game development. Let's go. Introduce yourself and just tell us what you do and who you are.
Okay, I'm Tim Tayo. My friends call me Tim, even though I don't approve. My friends will call Tim. I'm a game developer. I've been a game developer for the past 3 years. That's pretty much it.
When did you decide that you actually want to take it as a career?
Alright, yeah, that was actually a very important question. I started, so the first thing is I never really thought I would like coding, right? I always knew, growing up, okay, there was this thing called programming, and I dabbled into it because I used to play with animation when I was a kid, when I was like 11 years old. And I used Macromedia Flash and Adobe Flash. And Adobe Flash had this, you could animate with JavaScript. It wasn't really JavaScript, it was something called, I can't remember what it was called, but it was kind of like JavaScript. And I never liked it. Like, I just always preferred doing my stuff frame by frame. I never used to touch that. But then I always knew somewhere in my mind that, okay, if I chose to do this thing, I'd probably be good at it, right? It was like a kind of, I don't know, confidence that, I could do it. But I never tried up until I was in university, and then something significant happened to me. My phone and my laptop got stolen when I was in my second year of university, and I was devastated. And because of my personality, my first reaction was to think of a solution. The first solution I tried was betting. So I started taking bet Nigeria seriously. I was calculating odds, doing all these things. I tried. I flipped 5k to 25k, and then I almost flipped the 25k to 125k, but my last game got normal story. So, but then the second solution that now came up to me was to try to track my phone and my laptop. And then I was looking into the possibilities of tracking devices, and I discovered that even though there were some solutions, there was nothing that would help the situation I was in, right? The person that was obviously turned the phone or the laptop off, there was nothing that really helped me. And so that now transitioned into me thinking about trying to create a solution for that, a way people can track their phones and laptops, even when it's off, in case it's stolen. So like there will be like a fail-safe mechanism that can allow you to still track your devices, right? And then I knew that if I wanted to build that kind of utility, I would need to code. That's what I thought in my head. I just thought, okay, I'll just code it. So I started learning Java, because Java was this primary language for Android devices at the time. And learning Java led me into learning Android development. Obviously, that was my plan all along. I wanted to try to create this utility. And then I was in Android development for a while. I started trying to create the application, the utility that I was talking about. Before long, I realized it was going to be really complex and I didn't have the skills to do it. And eventually that now transitioned into me trying to hone my skills by making a game, which is what many people do, right? When you're starting development, you just make a game. And so I made this card game on Android, on my Android device. It took a long time. And then when I was done, I was essentially an Android developer. I passed the Google Associate examination very well, like really well, and I pretty much knew what there was to know at the time about Android development. And so I could now work And then I took my first contract job as an Android developer to build an app for a food startup. And then I realized I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it. The whole time I was just remembering how much I enjoyed building my first project was the game. So I went back to game development. And that was pretty much it.
When you develop your skill, right, there is this thing you create, and then it gives you that confidence that you are actually good enough to create other mind-blowing projects. So what was that project that you actually created that built that, or I would say that gave you the confidence?
That's an interesting question because I don't think it was ever a project for me. So the thing about game development is that it's hard. Like everybody says this, everybody knows game development is hard. It's like a labor of love, it's like a passion thing. Because generally speaking, the consensus is that it's harder than the rewards you get for it. You put in more work than rewards when you compare it to other engineering fields you can go into. And because of how hard it is, it's generally difficult to on your own, say you want to sit down and make a complete project that is so good that it now gives you confidence. It's a little bit far-fetched. What would often happen is that you are in the industry for a while until you now get so good, like you have so much experience that you can actually fathom building something on your own. So it's a little bit of a flip from regular engineering, where regular software engineering, where a lot of the time to hone your skills, you work on one project, work on one website, work on one application, and then you finish and it's your portfolio project that you can show. In game development, you can try, but it's going to be bad. As a beginner, you can't make a good game on your own. It's impossible. And so, I did try, as you have to show that you have substance, you have something to offer, and I did work on things on my own, but I wouldn't say I finished a project and then all of a sudden thought, oh wow, I'm really good now, I can now become a game developer. What actually happened was I worked on several small projects that were all bad, until I worked on one that was not completely bad, not entirely bad. When I got to it, I never finished it, right? But when I got to a certain point in the one that was entirely bad, and then I showed a couple of people, and they were like, "Oh, this isn't entirely bad." And then I continued building, but then actually what broke me was that I showed my brother the project. Now, just for a little bit of context, my brother is very difficult to impress. That's just his personality. And when I showed my brother this particular project, he gave a very discouraging response, right? It broke me. I was like, what? I felt like I was just wasting my time. And so I needed something to change. And so I told myself that I need to get paid employment for game development, or else there's no way for me to know I'm actually making progress, right? Even though in a way I could see I was making progress, but that was what I needed at this point, right? For my mental state to kind of reset. And so that was what I just did. So it wasn't that I made a project that was good. It was that I made a project that I felt was a little bit, it wasn't too bad. And then I showed somebody and the person still treated it like it was shit. And so I was like, if I'm not wasting my time, then somebody should be willing to pay me for the skills I have now. And so I went out of my comfort zone to look for that person, and I found that person. And then that was actually what started building my confidence. Now, working quote unquote in the industry, right, and seeing that the skills I had at the moment were already useful to someone somewhere, then my confidence started growing.